Welcome to Ultimate DIY, where you learn to be your own handyman. And today we are going to check out a special tool made by iwiss. What this tool is it is a PEX A or Pro PEX, however you want to call it, expansion tool. Now, this is a manual tool, but it's not just any tool. It's a very good heavy-duty tool. I'm going to get into the specifics of that in a minute, but before I do that, I'm going to explain to you what PEX is and the different types of PEX if you're not already familiar. So basically, you're going to have two types of PEX. You're going to have PEX A and you're going to have PEX B. The difference is PEX A or Pro PEX, another name is Homeowner that you may be familiar with, are going to have expansion rings, and you're going to have to use a tool, something like this battery powered tool, which expands that ring, and then you slide it over the top of the fitting, and it will contract back, and that makes your watertight fitting. On a PEX B, which this is a lot of what you find in the big box stores, and this is also the one that a lot of times you'll hear the horror stories about. The water flow is not the same after they put in PEX, and I'll show you why here in just a second. But I'm not a big fan of PEX B. I'm a much bigger fan of PEX A or Pro PEX, Homeowner. But the reason is you're going to have to use expansion rings with these. They're going to come in a container like this. So you're going to have a special crimping tool. This one has little wings that you'll crimp at the top here. Some of them you'll crimp totally over the whole ring itself. It depends on the system that you've got. But you're going to take it and you're going to slide this on, slide it up over your fitting, get the crimping tool, crimp it, and that makes your watertight seal. Now you have to make sure that it is crimped correctly and square. You also have to realize that the strongest this connection will ever be is the day that you do it. It will consistently get weaker over time. On a PEX A system, the weakest it ever is the second you put it on, and it gets tighter over time. It's the exact opposite. So I told you that I don't particularly like the two for water restriction, and this was to kind of show you the difference. These are both PEX A and B, and they are both 1/2 inch. And if you look on the Pro PEX, the one on my right, this is bigger than the one on my left, which is B. If you compare the two, there's a huge difference. Part of the reason is they make these fittings smaller so that they can slide directly into your PEX. Where when you are doing a Pro PEX, you're going to take the fitting, put it on, and you expand the fitting so that it can go over the 1/2 inch, which is, this is comparable to real copper 1/2 inch. So if you are going to use PEX B, I would tell you to go ahead and upsize. If you normally do a 1/2 inch, go ahead and do 3/4 so you do not have any water restriction. There's another reason I like PEX A over PEX B. You can actually bend this pipe into, use a heating gun, heat it up, and it will go back to its normal form. PEX B does not do that. But enough about the PEX. You kind of have an idea how the PEX system works. There are other things on the market that you can use. So enough about the PEX so that you kind of know the two differences. Now I'm going to show you what it comes with this toolkit and why I think it's a great toolkit, especially for a DIYer. A DIYer isn't going to do plumbing every day. Do you really want a battery system that's going to sit there for months and you may never touch it? Could even be years. But this unit you could keep for 5, 6, 10 years, 20 years. It's always going to work. So let's see what's in this, because a lot of these units are kind of cheap and you don't get much with them, but this one's different. So I'm opening it up so that you guys can see. And the first thing you're going to notice is that there is a lot of stuff in here. I've already taken the manual out, set it to the side so that you can see in here. The first thing you're going to look at is the expander tool itself. And you're going to see this cone shape. That is exactly the same as the battery powered unit. You take off the little head, same unit. Only that one looks a little bit bigger. Now, when you get the battery powered units, they're generally going to come with 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1. Now, you can get larger ones if you're doing industrial and commercial as well. But the basic DIY person is probably going to be in that range. The nice thing about this one, though, is it starts at 3/8. You actually have an extra head. You're going to have a 3/8, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and the 1. So we're going to use the 1/2 inch, and I'm going to show you how it works. But all you do is you simply take this out and put it on. Now, occasionally, they give you a little bit of a grease here. You can put a little on here, but I will tell you, be very cautious how much you put. You really don't need much. Just a tiny dab is all you need, and you don't need it very often. Now, I always keep mine in their boxes, even my battery-powered one, so that it keeps everything off of it. Now, you'll hear this ratcheting, and you'll know when it's tight. Right there, it's tight. So this is now ready to work, and you can see the action of the head moving. Okay. We're going to set that down. Let's go ahead and look at what else we got, though. There's our 1 inch right here, 3/8, and there's our 3/4. It has a little cutter that comes in here. This is a clamp type that you would take, put it on just like this, and you're going to rotate it. And it cuts. It makes actually a pretty good cut. Not a bad little cutter. I generally use one like this one. This is made by Homeowner, but hey, this cutter works perfect. Why buy one if it already comes in your kit? So you've got that. The other thing this has, which I think is really awesome, because you will definitely ultimately end up needing this tool, or you're going to be trying to use a razor blade to cut the old fittings off. So say I have put one. Well, as a matter of fact, let's see. I've got this one already on there, and it's been expanded. I can't get the fitting off. But say I need to get the fitting off, and I have to make a change. This tool is a cutter, and all you're going to do is open it up. It has a little safety mechanism right here that holds it together. Take it, open it, just like that. And we're going to take it and put the flat part here inside, and then we're going to cut it, and it just simply, I mean, super easy. Just cuts like that. Let's see, I've got one section cut. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut the other side to make it really simple. So there, there, there. Just like that. I've cut both sides just to make it come off a little bit easier. So then I can just take and peel it. Now it's off, and I should be able to just pull this off. If I have to do the same thing here, I can actually go in the same way and cut the line right here to get it off my fitting. Now, the nice thing about that is you can reuse these fittings. There we go. And now I could take this piece. Let's use their cutter again, because that cutter was pretty impressive. So we're going to open it up, put it around it. The little nut blade gets on it. And I'm going to push on this side, and we're going to go around. Wow, that's a very good cutter. Very impressive. All right, so now we've got all that done. So now I'm going to show you how this works. So if I'm using this gun, all I'm going to do is put my, no matter what it is we're trying to attach, we are going to take a fitting, and you put it on all the way in here. You use the gun, you put it in, and you hold the trigger, and you keep doing it till it expands, and then you'll put it on, say, your fitting right here. And see, right now, will not go. We are going to do that, though, with this tool, because this is what we're checking today. We want to see if this will do as good as that. That works very well for sure. So how this is going to work is you're not going to start it like this. You're going to have it like this. Now, I know it's going to take about 2 strokes with this to get it open, but I would go 3 or 4 to make sure that you are fully open. And I'm going to set this down here. And the trick to this is once you get it expanded, you want to get this end on your fitting as quickly as possible because it will immediately start shrinking back. You have a little bit of working time, but not a lot. So take it. You'll see now when I start, I'm going to have to use my leg here because I'm trying to do this where you guys can see. But you can see that that's as far down as I can go. It's not even halfway. So let's go ahead and ratchet. There's one. See, it moved almost all the way down. There's two. Now it's down. I'm going to do three. I'm going to go ahead and do one more. There we go. And we take it now. Take your fitting, put your fitting in just like that. And then you let it set for 10, 15, 30 seconds. It's going to be tight. You already can't get it out. It's already sealed. Perfect fit. All right, guys, so if you're a DIYer, if you are a handyman and you are wanting to get into the Pro PEX, Homeowner, PEX A, but you don't know where to start, start with something like this because not only is this reasonable to get in and start with, it also will last you for years and years. And by the way, even if you get this unit, you don't know if you're going to accidentally have some kind of a problem. I had a problem with this not too long ago where it fell by accident and I damaged my 1/2-inch head and I had to order a new one. I had to go probably 2 weeks before I got the new one in. So in the meantime, I could use something like this, not miss a beat, keep everything flowing and going. You should always have something like this. So do yourself a favor, pick yourself up one today. I hope this helps, and we will see you guys on the next one.